Can I firstly thank my honourable friend, the member for Dunfermline and Dollar, for securing this incredibly important debate in the Chamber today, and thank him for his incredibly eloquent speech. Again, not a word I would disagree with. As he described, Parkinson's is the fastest growing neurological condition in the world, and around 153,000 people live with the condition in the UK. In April, we marked World Parkinson's Day and World Parkinson's Awareness Month, and as part of Parkinson's UK's event here in Parliament, I had the opportunity to hear directly from people affected. I'm especially grateful to Angie from Parkinson's UK for taking the time to share her experience with me and discuss how we can improve care and support for people living with Parkinson's disease. Madam Deputy Speaker, it's for people like Angie in Hertford and Stortford that I wanted to contribute to today's debate, and for me, as I know will be the case for other honourable members, it is personal. Through the experiences of friends and loved ones, I've seen firsthand the impact of a Parkinson's diagnosis, and I'd like to briefly share their stories today. Firstly, the mum of one of my closest friends who was diagnosed with Parkinson's in 2018, a person whom it would be no exaggeration to describe as one of the warmest, kindest, most generous people you could meet. The kind of mum who makes you feel like part of the family and always insists that you stay for dinner. She too has benefited hugely from the Movers and Shakers group, and with the support of Parkinson's UK, she and a group of friends, all working age people diagnosed with Parkinson's, have set up the Heart's Parkinson's Wellbeing Directory. Working with the NHS and other local organisations, their work ensures that Hertfordshire residents diagnosed with Parkinson's can quickly and easily find information and access local support to help manage their condition. Residents can access the directory by visiting hertfordshire.parkinsonsuk.group, and I'd like to take this opportunity to thank them for their inspirational work supporting others with their diagnoses. I also want to talk about Andy. When I first met Andy, he was introduced to me as the husband of my local Labour Party's long-standing, or perhaps long-suffering, election agent. I was about 19 at the time, standing in a local council election in what used to be true blue Hertfordshire that I was destined to lose. Little did I know just how important Andy and Brenda would be to me by the time I was elected to this place in July last year. In so many ways, I would not be stood here as the Member of Parliament for Hertford and Stortford were it not for Andy and Brenda. When I was preparing for this debate, I reflected on the fact that I couldn't actually pin down when or how Andy had told me about his Parkinson's diagnosis. And that's really a testament to Andy's innate ability to turn topics that others might find difficult to discuss into everyday conversation. Indeed, I learned much about myself through simple conversation, travelling from visit to visit with him during the general election. But it's also a testament to his willingness to speak openly about his Parkinson's, breaking down the stigma for others with a diagnosis, knowing that it doesn't define him and that it can make it easier for others to talk about their condition. Today, Andy Pellant is not just a mentor to me, but a friend, and it's my privilege to put his name on the record in this debate today. Madam Deputy Speaker, can I also take this opportunity to pay tribute to Julie Walker, who has been writing her regular Parkinality column in our local newspaper, the Bishop Stortford Independent, for the past 7 years to help people to better understand life with Parkinson's. Diagnosed aged 44, every year Julie does something to mark Parkinson's Awareness Month in the hope that a cure will be found and that there will be no need for another. This year, Julie has compiled all of the poems that she has written about living with the condition into a book, with the proceeds going to Parkinson's UK and Cure Parkinson's. I'd encourage everyone in Hertford and Stortford and in this chamber to support her work. And I'd also like to highlight some of the positive work being done in our community to support those living with Parkinson's. I was really pleased to read this week that operator Everyone Active is partnering with Parkinson's UK for the 4th year running to provide residents with Parkinson's with free fitness memberships. This means that patients in our community will be able to access gym facilities, swimming pools and exercise classes at Hartham Leisure Centre in Hertford and Grange Paddocks Leisure Centre in Bishop Stortford, alongside up to 3 of their carers. And I'd encourage any residents in Hertford and Stortford living with Parkinson's to take advantage of this support. Madam Deputy Speaker, I welcome the work this Labour government is undertaking to deliver the 10-year health plan for England, which will radically reform how people with long-term conditions like Parkinson's in Hertford and Stortford are treated on the NHS. And with hundreds of thousands of patients in England still on the waiting list for neurology services, with almost half waiting for more than 18 weeks to start their treatment, I similarly welcome how the elective reform plan will help to deliver more neurology appointments every year. No one should lay awake at night worrying that their condition is getting worse while they wait to see a specialist. By providing extra appointments, scans and operations in the evening and at weekends, I know this Labour government will clear the backlog for neurology appointments. But we can go further, and I do have a few policy questions I'd like to raise, which I'd be grateful if the Minister could reflect on in her response. Firstly, as other honourable members have said today, a number of residents have written to me calling on the government to implement the 5 steps set out in the Parky Charter. They have been set out eloquently by my honourable friend, the member for Dunfermline and Dollar, but those points around speedy specialists, instant information, a Parkinson's passport, comprehensive care and a quest for a cure are incredibly important. I'd just like to touch on the point around a Parkinson's passport. A number of residents have written to me raising the point around free prescriptions, which they are entitled to in Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland, but not in England. And as I say, a number of residents have raised this with me. Supported by major Parkinson's charities, delivery of the Charter would help to deliver timely diagnoses, comprehensive care and dignity for all those living with Parkinson's disease. I know the Minister takes these matters incredibly seriously and will have read the Charter in detail, so I would be grateful if she could share what considerations she has given to it in her response. When I spoke to Andy ahead of today's debate, he highlighted how almost everyone he has met with a Parkinson's diagnosis recognised with the benefit of hindsight that the signs of their condition were present years before they were diagnosed. So can I ask the Minister if she has considered the potential benefits of a national education programme to help people identify the early signs of Parkinson's disease? Madam Deputy Speaker, I know honourable members across the House have their own experiences or will have known someone with Parkinson's disease. We've heard many moving speeches today and I'm sure we will hear more. The unity shown across the House today to support those living with Parkinson's and to find a cure is to be commended, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to have contributed to this debate today. Thank you.